Hi, I'm Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation. In this particular video, we're going to ask a question. What is marriage? Isn't that an interesting question? And the truth is that everything is pretty much defined by its purpose, like a boat is a boat because it goes on the water. An airplane goes in the sky and it flies you where you're going. And a stethoscope listens to your heart, and so you go back to the root words, and a scope is to listen, and so forth. So what is marriage, and why do you want to know what marriage is? Well, you want to know, not so you're a hero at the party, but you want to know because your marriage should be based on what marriage is. I have heard oftentimes, well, marriage is different for different people, Well, come on. That's like saying, well, a boat is different for different people, Sure, you could have people who use their boat to go out and have fun, and then you have people who live on their boat. Is that really a boat? And so this is what happens. Most people are living in their marriage and not fulfilling their purpose, which is extraordinary. And that's the number one thing about marriage. It's extraordinary. So let's address it. Let's really get into it. So look, what are you? You have a body. You have a mind. And you are a soul. Right? And so what we should be doing is looking at the purposes that are fulfilled for each. Okay? Now, how did I get here? I got here because when I was a divorce mediator, yes, I was a divorce mediator, I had a couple come in and they wanted me to help them with their marriage, to save their marriage, instead of get the divorce because they didn't know what else to do. So I said, okay, let's see. Where do I begin? I have to begin with, well, why did you get married in the first place? Aha, the purpose, right? Well, we get married to be happy. We get married for happiness. That's the purpose of marriage, is to be happy. And then you have to go, oh, I just gave it away. Then you have to ask yourself, well, what brings the greatest happiness? So then most people go to what's good for the body. Things like wealth, health, prosperity, things that we could play with because they satisfy the needs of the body. Partially, they also satisfy the needs of the mind, because when you have these things, you're more relaxed. Now, little do people think, but really what's going on is the mind in this scenario is literally describing the body's influence on the mind. The body is all about one thing. It's all about survival. And we don't realize how much these drives to survive, which are embedded in the body, influence the mind. But you're a soul. Yes, psychologically you're feeling better when your body and mind are taken care of. There's no question about it. But what's the most fulfilling? What do you really want? What gives you the most happiness? Hint, it's of the soul. And it's love. Love, sweet love, real love. Your soul, you are the soul, you are love. What gets in between you, the soul, and love is identification with the body's needs transferred over to the mind. And then it messes us up completely. So marriage satisfies the soul. We get married in order to use our body and mind to learn how, learn how to love unconditionally. Okay? You can write that down if you want. We get married to learn to love unconditionally. What is so cool is that it's a perfect venue for it. Once you get married, it's just the two of you. In fact, I describe it as the sacred space of marriage. It is, remember when you were a kid and you would play tag, and there was always a place where you could go that was your safety zone? The world is harsh. It's out to get you. You always are going to get tagged it just for standing around, except for in your sacred space of marriage, where only two of you are. Now we're getting to the definition. Marriage is a sacred space in which two of you utilize your body, mind, and soul to achieve unconditional love. That's it. Isn't it so cool? Now, here's the cherry on top. There are people in the world who go onto a spiritual path. They seek out a spiritual path because they want absolute fulfillment of their soul. The cherry is when you're married and you're using it right, you don't have to seek any further. You don't have to worry anymore. You found the perfect vehicle with which to train your own mind in order to love your spouse unconditionally. And when you do, you literally have achieved the same thing that those sitting on a mountaintop are seeking. So that's what marriage is. I hope you like this explanation. I hope you use this explanation. I also hope you like the video. If you do like it, share it with others. Let's get the word out. The Marriage Foundation is nonprofit. It's not a gimmick. We give away marriage help. We also sell marriage help, but we give it away primarily. So you could write into us and get help anytime you need. We're here for you, and we love you. God bless.